Good morning. It's Saturday. It's no King's Day, unless you're King Charles. If you're King Charles, you're also having a birthday parade. I wonder who will do it better. I saw a picture of a couple of people holding, obviously, a sign that had been especially made, "Proclaim Trump King." I wonder who made that. I also saw an events company advertising for seat fillers for the event. So I'm fascinated to see, absolutely fascinated to see how it goes. It will not be a patch on North Korea or Russia. It just won't. If it is, I'll be absolutely astonished. Um, the weather forecast when I last looked in Washington DC was going to be um, potential couple of hours of rain, and sorry about the lighting, but it's really bright out here, so I'm trying to find somewhere that's not, I'm not dazzled by, but every time I move it goes darker. Yeah, the weather forecast isn't brilliant, but uh, fire and brimstone might be good, mightn't it? Yeah, so we'll see. Lots of people, lots of protests all over the country. No King's Day protest, good for them. um Let's hope they don't get taken away like that US senator who was handcuffed, put to the floor, handcuffed and taken away for wanting to ask a question. Bloody hell. That's what dictatorship is, everybody. All those people that tell me that I am delusional, that's dictatorship, what you're seeing, if you're seeing it. Um, we Mark went to put the chickens away last night and came back up and told me that the white hen was missing and that there were feathers at the back of the bamboo. Um, so I went out and had a look round as well, and there's nothing apart from a few feathers at the back of the bamboo. The under feathers are very fluffy stuff. It doesn't look like much of a struggle took place, which is good. And it will have been the fox, I'm sure. And Jane saw a fox run past here in the road 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and we thought, oh, we're going to keep them in. Kept them in for a couple of days, and we feel bad about keeping them in. And so Mark went down this morning to let the chickens out, and it didn't occur to me until he was on his way back. I thought, I hope he thought about it, because it like I didn't immediately think about it, but he'd let them out, and I said I'm gonna have to take them back down. So we'd got some old bread in the house that needed to be soaked so that they could eat it. So I soaked it, took it out, and walked back down with them and locked them in. And I feel bad, but I would have felt even worse if I had left them out today with a fox now knowing they got easy food in this garden. It would have been where the white feathers were between the bamboo. It was between the bamboo and the hedge at the back of the bamboo. Easy for a fox to just nip in, take a chicken, off you go. And she's feeding her young, so that's going to happen. So we must keep them in now for the next, probably for the next month, which is horrible, but they're fine. They've got plenty of room in there. They'll get used to it. They're just chickens, but I don't want to let them out into the garden and give them a bit of a death sentence. So the last 3 days here, couple of days, 3 days, been oppressively hot in the afternoon. So I'm out now. It's about half 10. It's very pleasant. We had storms overnight, no rain, but we had storms which have cooled the air slightly, but it'll still be hot today. We nipped out yesterday afternoon at about 4 o'clock to go to pick up some stuff from Intermarché, and it was really hot. You come out of the house that's really cool, which is nice. We've managed to keep it cool, and You walk out and think, oh my God, get into the car, aircon, get out of the car, oh, walk into the shop. I think there's aircon in the shop. Just so hot. And I think I'm very lucky to know that I can be out in that heat and then come back and get some relief from it. I can't imagine having to work in that heat, having to live in that heat without access to um, air conditioning or a cool house. Really lucky. It's been unpleasantly hot in the bedroom. The bedrooms, because they are they're not completely under the roof. Some people, friends of mine, Vicky, for instance, who is my cleaner, they live in their bedroom is like in the roof, so they've got Velux windows. I know my friend in Chamonix lives in the top floor flat, which is under the roof. That must be absolutely, and that's the whole flat. That must be absolutely sapping of energy. In our bedroom, when the last couple of nights when we've gone up, it's been 27C, and that's with the shutters closed and the windows closed, and then we open up when we go to bed. But because it's so warm out here, it doesn't really help, but at least there's air, because the first night we left it closed. I opened the windows, but the shutters were closed, and I didn't realise they were completely closed. So halfway through the night, I just feel there's no air in the room. So we've got our bedroom door open and a window open on the landing, which has got a mosquito net on it, and our window and the shutters open in the bedroom, and a fan going. And the temperature when I got up this morning at about 8:30, was 24C, so it had reduced, and I've just got a duvet cover over me. So yeah, too hot. We've had to do a bit of a jiggery pokery with food. Mark had a phone call from doctor's secretary saying that his blood results suggested that there was an issue with his kidneys, that his filtration rate had reduced. I think that's what it is, had reduced, and that the doctors booked him an appointment at the hospital in Memorial for mid-July for an ultrasound, and he's got to have another blood test at the end of this month. But when I looked at the potential causes of that sort of problem, a lot of it could be just down to diet, because he eats a lot of cheese, and that's not a good thing. He likes milk. He puts more butter on the bread or on something than I would. So I looked at, had a good old look to see what we could do. And red meat. We don't eat a lot of red meat, but I'm the red meat eater. Mark's not so fast. So we went shopping yesterday, certain fruits that he should eat or could eat, as opposed to fruits that he shouldn't eat. Anything like banana that's high in potassium, or can't remember, avocado he shouldn't eat. So yeah, we went and did some shopping and bought some stuff that I could make healthier food for him in this 2 weeks lead up to his next blood test. And it'll be interesting to see if that has an impact, because I do wonder whether it's like, if I stop looking and I don't take control of some of the food stuff in the house, Mark it goes into single man mode. The other night he had, what did I had? I finished off, we'd had a chicken, and there were wings and a carcass left, and I love pulling all the meat off. Pulled all the meat off the carcass and put the wings in a bowl, and there was some new potatoes, and I had half the new potatoes with it, and that was my supper. And I said to him, there's new potatoes there, and there's some cold baked beans that you didn't have at lunchtime, because I don't really like baked beans. So he mixed the baked beans and the new potatoes and grated cheese into them and ate them cold. It's like, but it goes into single man mode. So I have to sort of probably be in charge again, which I stepped back from that because it just felt controlling. But I think I'm going to have to be in charge of all food consumption rather than leaving him to his own devices. Luckily, he's run out of Tracklements, which is chutney and pickles and things, because that's off the list. And he has a thing about Tracklements. So, and he's not been meant to be taking metformin, not been taking that regularly. And I went, well, when do you take it? He said, well, I take it when I've had a lot of sugar. So anyway, I think he's going to be back on track. I think it's giving him a bit of a poke. And let's see if we can make, by the time he goes for his ultrasound in July, hopefully diet and lifestyle changes may have made a bit of a change to the results, because I think it just could be that rather than anything more sinister. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go in and I'm cooking. I am cooking. I'm not creating anything. Just looking at my face, I feel like it's even wider now. It might just be the lighting. For the last week, I have increased my steroids by 1 milligram. I'm going to do this. That feels better. I'm going to do that. I've increased my steroids 1 milligram per day. So I'm on 10 this week. And to try and get over the sluggish fatigue, slowness, reduced stamina. And I think it's worked. I've also added in supplements back. I've added supplements back in that I'd stopped taking. So I'm doing that as well. So I think it's worked. I mean, I went out and wandered around the garden looking for a chicken last night. I was a bit puffed at the end. Not puffed, but, you know, like, I need to sit down. I went down there this morning and came back up. But I went into the shop yesterday, went round shopping. And we'd done cottage pie between us yesterday. So I do feel it's working, so I'm not going to stop yet and give it a few more days just to test it. I feel that it's working, and I don't, you know, I'm going to have to talk to my doctor and ask him to give me another prescription, because I'm not prescribed 10 a day. So I'm having to make it up with my 1 milligrams. Okay, back to farming. I've got silage to make, cows to feed. I've got some cows. I've got the biggest barn. I haven't got all the cows I could have in it, but the biggest barn that uses robot feeding. So all I have to do is supply the ingredients. I've just bought a slurry truck. So you buy the tanker, but you buy the thing that opens out to put the I can't think what it's called. That comes separately, so it's standing in the yard where you buy it from, and you have to back the tanker into it. Oh God, that was difficult, because you know, reversing in a tractor, reversing with something, you know, like a trailer or something, you know, and you have to do the opposite lock or whatever. It's just so frustrating. I don't know how. I'm not very good at it, but I did manage to get in there in about 5 minutes. It took me to back in and collect it. But anyway, that's my farming. That's the, you know, that's my first world problem, and that's what's going on. And we're having fish and chips. Did I say we're having fish and chips? Fish and chips, because it's not Friday. And then we'll have Mark's going to have cottage pie tomorrow, because it was a big cottage pie that we made, and so I divided it up into another 2 meals, but they're not big meals, and I'll let him have that because I've bought an entrecote for me, a steak. Let's hope nobody checks my filtration rate of my kidneys, because I do eat red meat. Okay, have a nice weekend. Enjoy No King's Day. I hope that we're entertained by the poison sack of orange poo. I hope he has a horrible birthday. Okay, thanks for watching. See you. Bye.